Israel's launched a major military attack on Iranian nuclear and military capabilities, killing dozens of top military officials and scientists, along with civilians. At least 200 fighter jets have struck over 100 targets across Iran, including Iran's main uranium enrichment site in Natanz and a nuclear research site in Tabriz. Strikes have also been reported across Tehran, the Iranian capital. The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said the strikes will continue for as many days as it takes.
Moments ago, Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, a targeted military operation to roll back the Iranian threat to Israel's very survival. This operation will continue for as many days as it takes to remove this threat.
Include Iran's top military and nuclear leaders, including Hossein Salami, Commander-in-Chief of the elite Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, Mohammad Bagheri, Chief of Staff of Iran's Armed Forces, and Ali Shamkhani, a close aide to Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Nuclear scientists Mohammad Mehdi Taranshi and Feyerdoun Abbasi have also been killed. Iran's Foreign Affairs Minister has said the country has a, quote, legal and legitimate right to respond. It's been reported Iran has launched at least 100 drones towards Israel that are being intercepted. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio claimed the U.S. was not involved in the strikes, while Trump posted on social media, quote, I gave Iran chance after chance to make a deal. The Israeli attacks came as the U.S. and Iran have been engaged in talks over a possible new nuclear agreement.
We also have this post that is coming in from the IDF, the Israel Defense Forces. They did post this a short time ago with some video there on your screen, and all of it related to what we did see. Now, they say that there's approximately 1,500 kilometers there between Israel and Iran. They also say eliminated 9 senior scientists and experts responsible for advancing the Iranian regime's nuclear weapons program. All of the eliminated scientists and experts, eliminated based on intelligence, were key factors in the development of Iranian nuclear weapons.
Over a week has passed since Israel launched their initial strike against Iran, the attack that resulted in the deaths of 9 of Iran's top 10 nuclear scientists. Reports claim that the scientists were killed using a classified weapon, the details of which have not been released to the public. After those 9 attacks in different locations targeting those 9 scientists, scientist number 10 was killed shortly after in that initial overnight operation. So that's a total of 10 scientists killed in Iran by Israel. They were all targeted along with the facilities and senior members of Iran's military leadership. In response, Iran has launched a series of counterattacks against Israel, and the two countries have been engaged in ongoing escalating exchanges. The situation has grown increasingly tense, with observers in neighboring countries like Lebanon closely watching developments. Check this out. This right here was caught on camera. There was a rooftop party going on in Lebanon where they got a front row seat to all the action.
Israel and Iran have traded strikes for a 4th day. Israel says it attacked the headquarters of Iran's state television today, which was captured during a live broadcast. The Israeli military had earlier warned people in the capital of Tehran to evacuate. Now, that strike came after Iran fired another wave of missiles at Israel, killing at least 8 civilians, according to the Israeli military. CBS News senior foreign correspondent Holly Williams is in Erbil, Iraq, with the latest. Holly?
Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu justified his country's attack on Iran by saying that the Iranian nuclear program is a, quote, clear and present danger to Israel. Now, Iran has denied any intention of building a nuclear bomb, but it is engaged in enriching uranium, and Israel's been striking sites where that's taking place. We can see the damage very clearly in satellite imagery, and Israel's also killed several of Iran's nuclear scientists. Yet some experts say that unless Israel can take out the Fordow nuclear site, a fortified location which is buried deep inside a mountain, then this war will have have been in vain, and it's widely believed that Israel does not have the firepower to destroy Fordow because it would probably require huge bunker buster bombs, which the US has, but which it is not supplied to Israel. So far in this conflict, the US has been aiding Israel by shooting down incoming Iranian missiles. But if the US decided to join in Israel's airstrikes, then retaliation from Iran would become more likely. And Iran has already threatened to target American military bases and ships. There are around 40,000 US troops here in the Middle East. But if Iran retaliates, the roughly 2,500 American troops thought to be here in Iraq would be an obvious target, simply because they are right next door. Holly Williams, CBS News, Erbil in northern Iraq.
And CBS News Pentagon reporter Eleanor Watson joins us now. Eleanor, thank you for being with us. What is the Pentagon saying about Israel's latest round of strikes?
Israel claimed today that it destroyed about a third of Iran's long-range ballistic missile launchers, potentially limiting Iran's ability to continue to retaliate against Israel. But arguably the biggest development came over the weekend when Israel claimed to have much of the air superiority over most of Iran's skies, which is no small thing. Israeli aircraft can now operate over Tehran and in western Iran without much threat of being shot down. Iran, though, has threatened, as Holly mentioned, U.S. bases in the region, which are not only in range of missiles, but also of Iranian-backed militias. Officially, the Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has amplified President Trump's social media message to Iran, which says that if Iran decides to attack any U.S. interest in the region, the U.S. would retaliate with, quote, the full strength and might of the U.S. armed forces.
And this right here is the same issue I had with Biden. Trump, why are we even involved in this? If Israel wants to fight Iran, let them handle it. We should be minding our own business. But no, the U.S. is already involved, basically helping Israel fight this war. It's no different from what we did with Ukraine, jumping in against Russia, sending support, same pattern. We assist these countries, we aid them, then when their enemies turn around and say they're coming for us too, suddenly they want to rally the whole country behind a conflict that never should have included us in the first place. Meanwhile, we've got plenty of problems right here at home. But once again, the U.S. is over in the Middle East, both low-key and high-key, acting like an accomplice in a proxy war, all while pretending we're not really a part of it.
Air defense systems light up skies over Tehran Thursday night, responding to fresh Israeli missile strikes. Come daylight and 1 week into Israel's brazen campaign, the once vibrant streets of the Iranian capital have almost emptied out. Residents have left major cities to relocate to the country's north and east, where conditions are seen as safer. In the IDF's latest attack on Iran's sprawling nuclear program, more air defense systems and missile launches have been targeted, and at least 5 cities, including the Iraq heavy water reactor in Tehran. In Israel, the army says it intercepted 4 drones launched overnight, but the southern city of Beersheva was hit. Homes have been destroyed and several people injured. This mother and her newborn came to see what's left.
He's a week and a half old, and that's his entrance to the world. Unfortunately, windows were broken in the house, all the furniture, there's nothing, everything's destroyed.
Israel has been hitting Iran from the air since last Friday in what it describes as an effort to prevent Tehran from developing nuclear weapons. Iran has denied plans to develop such weapons, retaliating with counterstrikes and vowing not to surrender.
So I work in nuclear disarmament, and these are some answers to a lot of questions that people have been asking me recently. Number 1, Iran does not have nuclear weapons. They suspended their nuclear weapons program way back in 2003, and they are part of this thing that you might be seeing everywhere called the NPT, the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. Basically, the treaty says no new countries can acquire nuclear weapons, and the 5 nuclear armed states that are part of that treaty, so that's US, UK, Russia, France, and China, have to eventually get rid of their nuclear weapons. Now, none of them are complying with those treaty obligations. But under the treaty, all of these states can pursue like peaceful uses of the atom, I think they call it, which is basically nuclear energy. So there are 9 countries in the world that have nuclear weapons. Iran is not one of them. 5 of them are part of the NPT, 4 are not, and those are Israel, North Korea, India, and Pakistan. The IAEA, which you've probably also been seeing a lot in the news, is the International Atomic Energy Agency, and they are the worldwide organization that is basically in charge of monitoring and verifying that nuclear use or nuclear energy use is quote unquote peaceful, and to inhibit its use for military purposes. So the amount of the IAEA's resources and budget that goes into monitoring and verification of Iran's enrichment program is bigger more than any other single state. In other words, they spend the most resources monitoring Iran, and based on that, we know that Iran is not developing nuclear weapons. There's no evidence to suggest that it is. This is something that is, of course, publicly acknowledged by the Trump administration, by the administration's own intelligence community. They have confirmed this to be true. Oh, and another thing, there's no such thing as a preemptive attack, a preemptive strike. It's just called illegally attacking unprovoked. It would be like if I went across the hall and punched my neighbor and was like, yeah, I'm just preemptively punching him in case he does something. What? No, you're just attacking him. You can try and call it something different, but it's just an illegal act of aggression. By the way, I also want to remind people that Iran does have legally the right to defend itself. Now, that's not me making a judgment on whether or not this current, literally ongoing situation is within that, if Iran is within its legal rights to self-defense or not, because I'm not in a position, I don't have the expertise to make that legal analysis. But I just want to remind everyone that legally, a country that is attacked does have the right to defend itself. In this case, Iran, in an immediate and proportionate way.
And after 10 of their scientists were taken out, Iran is going toe-to-toe with Israel, and they're warning the U.S. to stay out of it. Because if we don't, we will be next. And Russia is going to jump in and help them, causing everybody to click up with their allies against their ops. So now everybody is basically waiting to see what Trump is going to do, because based on his movement, we could possibly see World War III, which will destroy everybody.
Have you been answered questions about whether you are moving closer, or you believe the U.S. is moving closer to striking Iranian nuclear facilities? Where's your mindset on that?
I can't say that, right? You don't seriously think I'm going to answer that question? Will you strike the Iranian nuclear component? And what time exactly, sir? Sir, would you strike it? Would you please inform us so we can be there and watch? I mean, you don't know that I'm going to even do it. You don't know. I may do it. I may not do it. I mean, nobody knows what I'm going to do. I can tell you this, that Iran's got a lot of trouble, and they want to negotiate. And I said, why didn't you negotiate with me before? All this death and destruction. Why didn't you negotiate? I said to the people, why didn't you negotiate with me 2 weeks ago? You could have done fine. You would have had a country. It's very sad to watch this. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. It's so, everyone thought it was going to be the reverse. I didn't think so. And I was telling them, you got to do something. You got to negotiate. And at the end, last minute, they said, no, we're not going to do that. And they got hit. Remember 60 days? And then came the 60. 61 is going to become a very famous number. That was one hell of a hit, that first hit. That was one hell of a hit. Not sustainable, to be honest. That's where it ended. It ended on the first night. Yes.
Is it too late, though? Do you think it's too late to now?
Really, nothing's too late. The only thing too late is Powell. Powell's too late. Too late, Powell.
Have the Iranians reached out to you, Mr. President?
What?
Have the Iranians reached out to you?
Yes.
And what did you say?
I said it's very late. I said it's very late to be talking. Mr. President, we may meet. It's. I don't know. There's a big difference between now and a week ago, right?
Trump is a fool, okay? This man said, I may do it, I may not do it. You don't know what I'm going to do. It's not too late, but it is too late. Listen, it's not too late for us to slide out the back door and get out these people's business. Let these people fight without U.S. interference, and I'm sure none of this will last long if the U.S. exits stage right, because no one will be there instigating and fueling one side to attack another. Very simple. let's go ahead and get the conversation started. Israel attacked Iran. It's been over a week now, and the world is waiting for Trump's decision on if the U.S. will get involved. Should the U.S. jump into the fight, or should we mind our own business and deal with the domestic issues right here in America? Tell me what you think about this below. I gotta send a shout out to Dan of Third World Art. I appreciate you, Dan, for all of your support for the channel, as well as Dark Power and Damien. Once again, thank you all for your contributions. You can show your support as well. The link to PayPal is below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to like and share.